And thank you for joining us for this class on how you stay on top of your money. We're going to be looking at what you need to do from a daily standpoint, a weekly standpoint, and a monthly standpoint so that you know exactly what is coming into your business and what is going out of your business and why. My name is Brenda Bryant. I am an instructor here at UNR Extension. And the first thing I want to show you is called the Roadmap. This is a compilation of different kinds of resources from the Nevada Department of Business and Industry. If you're a new business, if you're an existing business, or if you just have a question, this is a great place to go to get some resources. So let's look at what we're going to be doing today. So running a small business involves juggling many, many responsibilities, and managing finances is one of the most critical tasks. By breaking down financial management into daily, weekly, and monthly tasks, you can ensure your business stays financially healthy and you can minimize surprises. So let's talk about what you need to do to stay on top of your money and your business. So from a daily standpoint, these are the tasks that you know where you are financially so you can make better business decisions. It's really hard to decide that you're going to purchase something, whether it is going to be a piece of equipment, whether it's going to be the new lease, whether it's going to be new employee that you're bringing in, or even an employee that you're going to promote if you don't understand your funds. And how do you know that you can afford to promote this person or bring in this new person or buy this equipment, whatever? Okay, so you want to make sure that on a daily basis, and I have clients who do this more than once a day because of so much hacking and fraud and so forth, but they're constantly looking at their daily information to make sure that they're on top of things. So from a weekly standpoint, you want to take a look at the decisions that you made against the goals that you have. So are you still on track? You said that you wanted to do X. Did the funds support you getting X completed? And then from a monthly standpoint, we want to look at what are these tasks that you have done on a monthly basis? Did you actually get them done? Did you say something was going to happen and it did happen? It exceeded your expectations. It did not meet your expectations. And what do you need to do to make those changes? Where are your differences, both positive and negative, and how do you deal with those differences so that you move into the next point of whether it's the next month, whether it's the next day, whether it's the next week? How do you move forward? So from a daily standpoint, you want to track all your expenses. Every time you buy something, every time money comes into your business or goes out of your business, you want to track it. That's called an accounting system. I don't know what accounting system you use, and you probably have heard more about QuickBooks than anything else out there. But some people are small enough that they do this on an Excel spreadsheet. Some people keep it in a notebook, what's coming in and what's going out. The most important thing is that you track it. And as you get larger, you will start making some decisions about how that tracking takes place, what kind of accounting system that you need to make it easier and simpler for you to actually keep track of money coming in and money going out. Update your sales records consistently. Don't let invoices sit out there that should have been paid. Don't let invoices be sitting there. That's money that should be in your bank account and it's not there because you haven't done what you need to do. So you want to update your sales records. You want to keep them as current as possible. You want to monitor your cash flow. You want to know what's coming in and going out, not just from invoices coming in or vendors that you're paying, but also how are you using cash in your business? So, and how are you using your credit cards? How are you using your debit cards? Are you keeping those separate from your personal information? Lending your business and your personal finances is called commingling, and the IRS will slap your hands for that one. That is definitely something that they do not want you to do because you have certain responsibilities and you have certain things that you can do as a business that you cannot do as a personal or in your private finances. And the other thing to do, and this is extremely important, is back up your financial data. If you are using a financial system of some kind that is on your computer, then that data needs to be backed up. If you're using financial information or system and it is an online system, make sure that is backed up. Make sure it's backed up to the cloud that you can go back to that information as needed. But it's very important for you to have the information in front of you when you need it and that it is accurate. So from a weekly standpoint, you want to go back and look at what the bank says. And I recommend not only weekly, I recommend that you do this daily, that you look at what the bank says is happening to your money and you look at what you say is happening to your money. You want to make sure that you and the bank agree. Please understand that there are some things that you have done with your money that have not been posted yet in the bank. That's okay. That's why we check it more than once. Review your outstanding invoices. Again, we want to make sure that that money that is owed to us is not sitting in somebody else's pocket. We want that in our bank accounts. Make sure that you pay your bills. Make sure that you pay your bills on time. That is extremely important to the health and wealth of your business. And analyze your financial reports. Oh my gosh, financial reports. You have to look at I don't know what to look at when I look at financial reports. I don't even know what financial reports are. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that. So hang in there. And then plan for your upcoming meeting. We're going to look at what happened during the week. We're going to look at the positives and the negatives, and then we're going to look at what we plan to have happen for the next week. From a monthly basis, we definitely want to review those financial statements, and we'll talk about those. We want to do a review of the monies that have come in and gone out. If you're in a business, you've heard the word budget. And so you look at what did you say you were going to do? That's your budget. What did you really do? That's your actual cash flow. And then what kind of adjustments did you need to make? For instance, I said we were going to do $7,000 in sales this month. That was in my budget. When I looked at what I really did, I did $8,500 in sales this month. So I made more than I said for my budget. So there's an extra $1,500. What do I need to do to adjust? Do I need to make sure that the next month that my projection is higher, or is that something that happened this month that happened only in this month and it will not be a consistent thing? what I'm looking at from a financial standpoint is, how do I use this information to make the best decisions I can about what's going on in my business? Okay, now this one I know everyone is just really thrilled to hear about. Set aside money for taxes. Please don't wait till the end of the year and look at what you've done and this money that you've moved in and out of the business and you go, oh goodness, no, I've got to pay taxes and I don't have tax money. Make sure that you are constantly allowing for the taxes that need to be paid, whether they are federal taxes, whether they are state taxes, whether they are sales taxes. I don't really care what kinds of taxes. I care that you care what kinds of taxes and how much you need to put aside. Look at your inventory. Do you have enough stuff to sell? If you're selling products, do you have enough products to sell? If you're making products, do you have enough of the pieces to make the products that you can sell? Inventory management is extremely important. You don't want things sitting on your shelves that should be in someone else's hands and they paid you for them. And then you want to prepare for your accountant meetings. Yes, you need to sit down and talk to your money person, whether you have a bookkeeper, whether you have an accountant, whether you have a CPA. You should have scheduled meetings with those people, never longer than 3 months. So if you're meeting with them once a quarter, then and you're both comfortable with that, then that's fine. But if you're a new business, I highly recommend that if you have a financial professional, you meet with that person at least monthly till you get the flow of what you need to do to keep your money intact. So those are just some basic things that we talked about. And I said I was going to tell you about what financial statements are, and we have a class on that. So, but just a quick review. Financial statements are your balance sheet, your income statement, and your statement of cash flows. Your balance sheet is kind of like a snapshot of where your business is, looking at your assets, your liabilities, and your equity. Your income statement is kind of like taking a video camera and you taking a video from one time to another time. So maybe I'm looking at the month of February. So I'm looking from the first day of February through to the last day of February. And then my statement of cash flows is saying to me, how am I using this money to make the business better? What am I doing with this money that allows me to make better decisions about the business and to move forward? So if you want more information on your statements and what financial statements are, how they're put together, please go to our classes and pull up the information. We have a class on this. I think we may have more than one class on this, and take a look at that. If you've got any questions, just let us know. And also, please let us know if there is something that you would like for us to train on. We'll be glad to take a look at that. We have virtual classes, as you know, since you're here now. And the virtual classes are in English and in Spanish. Please take advantage of those classes. They are available for you. We also have a podcast called Biz Life Podcast. And this is where people come in and talk about what they're doing in their businesses and how that is impacting the community. We talk to agents, government agencies. We talk to organizations. We talk to business owners like you to find out how are you doing? How are these things working for you? What are the resources that are out there? How can we use those resources to help support us in our business journey? And one last thing I want to recommend to you is the Nevada Small Business Development Center. If you are a client of the Small Business Development Center, please make sure that you keep in touch with your advisor. Make sure that you are sitting down with your advisor, having those conversations, asking those questions. Those people are knowledgeable and they have good information, and they're there to help you and support you. If you are not a client of the Small Business Development Center, please go here to request advising, and you will then get to this page where you're going to go to new client sign up. Fill out the information that's there. When it asks you where you found out about them, please make sure that you say the UNR Cooperative Extension is where you got this information. Get signed up, get an advisor. The minute that they send you the information and tell you that you have an advisor, please get on that person's calendar. Now, they are very busy, and you're not going to be able to sign up today and get an advisor tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. Don't we wish it did? But when you do get that person, get on the calendar. If the calendar is pushed out and it's going to take a while for you to actually reach the person for the first time, then go to our virtual classroom. Find the classes that are answering some of the questions that you may have for your advisor. Take notes. Have things that you want to talk about with your advisor, and then have that conversation. So let me say to you, thank you very much. We so appreciate you coming to these classes. These classes are for you. As I said before, if there's something that you're interested in and you think we should do a class on it, please let us know. So take care. Thanks for being here.